Hi guys, in this tutorial we're going to look at how to create nice custom info window with data from the database. So this is our database and this is our maps and all the info window images, the content, the title is coming from the database. So when we zoom in like this, we have these informations. We have this. So click on this, you have this data and click on this, you have this data. So let's get right into it. Hello guys, in this tutorial we'll be looking at how to customize the info windows on our map. So in the previous tutorials we learned how to add coordinates in the database, and then we did how to how to use the places autocomplete API. We also created 3D maps. So when you look at this, we have our 3D maps of the city. We can zoom in, we can zoom out, and we have a very nice map. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the info windows. So we're going to be creating advanced info windows. In this tutorial, we are going to customize the content in this info window. And then in the next tutorial, we're going to look at how to create our own info window and not use this Google info window, because when you click, we need to pop up a model or like a very nice thing from the side so that it looks really cool. But in this tutorial, we're going to look at how to customize this info window. So let's go back to our code. Let's open our tutorial folder. All right. So to customize this content, the first thing that we need to do is we're going to create a function that is going to handle the content in our info window. So when we look at our map, we got the map, we set a tilt and a heading to create a 3D. We use Axios. You can also use Ajax to go and grab your coordinates from the database. We set it up here, and then this is the content. So this is what is showing on the map. This content is what is showing. This is a brief content. All right. So when you go back and say this is a new content, when we save it and we refresh it, let's see. This is a brief content. It's not changed because I always say anytime you come back to your old code, you need to clear the cache, because JavaScript, your browser saves the JavaScript so that the page keeps running faster and faster. So anytime you update your code, the browser keeps using the old code. So now when you click, you see this is our new content. So when you click, you see this is a new content. When you click this, you say this is a new content. All right. Super cool. The next thing to do is we need to change this content. How do we do that? So in order to do that, we're going to create a variable. We are going to create a variable. We are going to call it. And remember, in our previous tutorial, we learned how to add data to each marker so that we will use it anytime we want. And in this tutorial, we're going to talk about that again. But before that, we'll create a function. We'll say let's just use a constant. No, maybe it's gonna change. It's not gonna, so let's just use let. So uh content let content info is equal to empty. All right. Let's just leave it like this. All right. So content info. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come out of our code. All right. So let's close the Axios. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's come out to this place. All right. So create info window content. Nice. So to create our info window content, what we need to get is we need to create a function. All right. So let's just say function and let's call it info window data. All right. Great, great. So the first thing, once we create our function, the first thing we need to do is let's create a variable. Let's call it data. And then let's say, let's return data. Great. Now, what is data? So we're just going to say data is equal to this is the info window. Great. So data is this is the info window, and this is the info window data that we're going to be getting. So let's get back to our code. Let's get back over here. So we're doing this inside the for loop that is grabbing the array, the markers. All right. So content info is equal to info window data. All right. So anytime this while loop runs, this line of code runs, it grabs this data and then it returns this data. And then this is what we're going to use in here. This is a new content. All right. So this is a new content. So we're going to use content info. Great. So let's refresh our page to see if it's working. Great. This is info window. All right. This is the info window. So this is what is here. This is the info window. Now let's differentiate each info window from the other. All right. So let's make sure that we are getting different info windows for every data. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a parameter to this info window function that we just created. It's a simple function. Info window is just how it has a variable, it has a content, a string, and then we are returning the content. Right. The next thing we want to do is we want to add something to this info window so that it becomes different from every marker. All right. So the first thing the thing we're going to add is we're going to add each. Now, each is the counter for the for loop. All right, you already know for loops. So each is the counter for for loop. So once it runs the first time, it is zero. Once it runs the second time, it becomes one because it's increasing plus plus. So each keeps increasing one, two, three, four. So we're going to use this each to make sure that we are getting different information from on each marker. So let's collect that data from here. Let's call it ID. All right, let's call it ID. So the first parameter is ID, and the data we are passing is the for loop counter. All right. So this is the info window, and then we're going to add. So we concatenate. We add our plus. We add our ID, and that's it. Okay. So this is info window one. That is going to be for the first marker that is going to load. This is the info window two for the next marker that is going to load, and how it's going to look like. So let's run our page. Let's refresh. Okay, this is info window one. This is info window zero. This is info window three. Info window four. Info window two. Okay. Info window 51. Info window 25. So let's give it a space to see how it's working. Refresh our page. Okay, so info window zero, info window one, info window two, info window four, info window three. Great, 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 great. Nice. So we have this is info window two. Let's see this. This is info window zero. All right, this is info window zero. and we have so many info markers on the map. We just maybe might not find all of them. So we have this info window 4. So this is info window 4. Nice. So we are getting each info window the information that we want. All right. Great. Now, what else do we want? Let's replace this for loop. Let's replace this for loop each information, this each parameter. We're going to replace this each parameter with the ID of the marker. All right. With the ID of this marker, these IDs. We're going to create extra columns and rows to help grab images, contents, and so many other things. All right. So first, what we're going to do is we're just going to go to Bootstrap. We just want some cards. We just want to copy some code from Bootstrap. So we have card. We have this card. So this is a simple card in Bootstrap. We're going to replace the info window with this content. So let's copy it. Let's come here. Let's come to our info window. And now we are no longer using a simple text. We're going to use the backtext so that we'll be able to write lots of HTML without having to worry about any concatenations and stuff. So let's come here. This is a nice info window. Let's save it. Let's run it. We're going to add images to this. So once we click, boom. So you see card title, card subtitle. We have get link. We have another link. Once you click this, we have this. Once you click this, we have this. So let's make sure that we are having separate content for each. So let's add our ID to the title. Okay, so in order to add some variable, you need the dollar sign, two of curly brackets, and you put your ID inside. So ID, let's refresh. You click, oops, card title 1, card title 0, card title 3, card title 4. Nice. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to add an image. Let's try to add an image. So we have a card title, we have a card subtitle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some rows. So this is HTML content, right? We're going to write our HTML inside. Okay. So we say div class equals row. All right. So let's close our div. Inside our div, we'll create two. So let's say div. Let's say div class equal to call, let's say call 4. Let's just close it. Let's close it. Let's close our div. Nice. Let's copy and paste this. Let's make this 8. Great. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our image here. So let's just say img source is equal to. So right now we only have these two stuffs, right? So let's create one folder. Let's call it assets, and let's grab an image online. So let's just say McDonald's. Let's just say McDonald's. Go to images. Let's grab the McDonald's logo. This is nice. So let's save the image. Great. So we have the McDonald's image. Let's save it on a desktop. No. So let's make it simple. Let's go to htdocs. Let's go to tutorials. Let's go to assets and let's paste this there. Right. Nice. So let's go back to our code and let's just say we're going to find an image in assets, and then we have th.jpg. All right, so let's run our code to see what's happening. Okay, let's see what's happening right now. So let's click this. Boom. We have our big McDonald's. But McDonald's is too big. So how can we do it? We can right click. Because this is HTML, we can right click and we can edit it as we want. So let's click on our image. Let's just say width is equal to 40 pixels. Height is equal to 40 pixels. Great. So let's just remove the height and let's make it width. It will automatically work out. So let's just say style equals width 40 pixels. Great. Next, now we're going to do is we're going to add a title to. I'm going to cut this and put the title in the col 8. All right. I'm going to put the title in the col 8. And let's refresh. So boom. Right now we have our McDonald's and we have this title. So let's see. This is the col 4. Col 4 is taking a whole lot of space, so let's make it let's say 2. Okay, 2 is good. And this is also the col is also on top. The content is on top. So let's just say vertical align. Let's just put some margin on top. All right. So let's just say margin top or padding top. So padding top, let's say 10 pixels. Or let's say 5. Okay, let's say 6. 6 pixels is great. All right. So padding is 6 pixels for the H2. We change this to 2 and give this style, say style equals to, you can give this class and you can use the, you have a style CSS, you can edit it from the style, but let's just do it here. Let's just say pattern up 10, so just say 6 pixels, right? Let's refresh. So let's refresh our page. Once we click, boom, we have McDonald's call title 1. We click this, boom, we have McDonald's. The same images keeps repeating. Call title 0, boom, call title 3, got subtitle. So let's just give it a little break for the subtitle so that it goes. So MT1 margin top 1, that is a bootstrap class. So let's just go. As you click, boom, goes down a little bit. Great. Now let's change this to get directions. Okay, so we don't need 2 of this, we only need 1 of them. So let's just say get directions. Great, 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 great. Let's refresh. Boom. So now let's see, we have this, we have get directions, we have this, get directions. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab image from the database, we're going to grab cut title from the database, we're going to grab subtitle from database, we're going to grab the content from database and grab the direction. Already we have the position of this, so we're going to use it directly in the direction. All right. But you see we have some spaces around this. We don't need those spaces. See, when you look at our card, we have some pattern around it. We don't need that pattern, do we? I don't think we need it so much. So let's see. Okay, so this is from the Google Maps itself. Okay, so it's from Google Maps itself. So let's just remove the pattern and let's see. Pattern 0 important. So let's just make it important to see. Okay, let's see this. Let's see this. We have the card. The card is not giving any issue. We have this is given a pattern right and some patterns around it. So let's see. Okay, okay. All right, let's just leave it like that. We'll look at it later. All right. So now let's grab these data from the database. So the next thing we're going to do is let's come to the database. We look at the structure. We only have ID lat long. So the next thing we need is we need how many data do we need? We need the image one, the title two, subtitle three, content four. So we need four informations, right? We need four more columns. So go. The first one we need is image. Next, so the image we say varchar, we say 200. Next we need is title, we need subtitle, and we need what do we need? We need title, subtitle, and description, right? Description. Let's just say description, DESC. Great. Description. Let's just say varchar. Let's just say 300 context text characters. Let's just say this is 200. It's 200 and varchar and varchar. Great. So let's save it. Okay, so disk is a keyword, so we're not going to use that. We're going to add an R to it. Great. Okay, so now that we have these data, let's browse it and see what we have. Okay, so we have image, we have title, we have subtitle, we have description. Great, so let's see what we can do to add data here. What can we do? Okay, so let's see if we can use ChatGPT to help us, right? To populate information and just fill everything up. Let's see if ChatGPT can do the job for us. Let's see, MySQL random database. So this is what we use to generate random database, random coordinates. The next thing we're going to do is let's try to select every data in here, select everything in the database, and update the data for image, title, subtitle, and description. So let's see, type my SQL query, select all information, select all rows from database and update the columns, image, uh, let's say image, comma, title, comma, let's see what we have. Image, title, sub, and description. Title, sub, description with random random text, not more than 200 characters. Okay, so let's see if ChatGPT can do this for us. Okay, so connect to the database, select everything from the table, use a while loop, get the ID, generate random text, update. Okay, let's see if this can work. So let's say with update the code and use real sentences in place of the random text. Let's use real sentences to do that. Let's see. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to replace the image content, the image column content with th.jpg. All right. So once it's done, we'll come to our code, we'll come to our backend, we'll come to our controls. So the controls is where we use to add the coordinates, the random coordinates to the database. And we're going to do the same thing. So let's see, let's connect to our database, come to ChatGPT. Okay, select all from, copy it. So select all from locations. You get each ID, update mass image dish. Okay, we need to do it one by one. So let's do this first. Let's copy this. Let's replace it with this if. Great. It's going to create, let's just change this to th.jpg, simple as that. So th.jpg. And let's run the control to see what is going to happen. So backend control.php. Table tutorial, though my table doesn't exist. So update location. Fresh. Doesn't exist. Oh, we need a name. Okay, so update locations. Okay, there's an S. There's an S, so fresh. Great. Everything has been updated successfully. So let's run the page and see. Boom. Now we have all these nice things. Okay, so we have used ChatGPT to update our records with no hassle. Great. With no hassle. That's why I love ChatGPT. So let's go back. And now we're going to use the information that we got from our database to control our info window. So already we pushed each record, we pushed the latitude, we pushed the longitude. So these are the only two stuffs that we got. Now we're coming to increase the amount of information that we have over here. Okay, we're coming to increase it. The next thing we're going to grab is we're going to grab the image, $row. So is what? Image. Great. So let's come on, let's copy and paste one more time. And let's just say select image title subtitle description 1 2. So we have 1 2 3 4. There's the alt key on your keyboard and you click on the content that you want to select and it will select everything for you. Paste them. So these are the key and these are the values. So this is an associative array that we are creating, right? And now we have this information. So back to our map.js when we called our map details using this. Okay, so this is the response. So first, let's log the response to see what is inside the response. So log console.log response, right? So let's see console.log response. Let's see what we are getting. So let's look at our console. Let's refresh our page. Let's come to the console. And that code is not working. So let's clear the cache. Good. So now we have 55 data in our database. 55. Okay. So let's look at it. When you open the response object, we have configuration, we have data, headers, requests, status. Status is okay. The database request is successful. Now this is the data that we just returned. We have the latitude, the longitude, the image, the title, and this one we have it for all of them. Okay. So when you click on the first one, you have the description, you have the image, we have the latitude, longitude, subtitle, and the title. Great, great, great. That is inside the response. So we want to, we only need the data. We don't need config, we don't need headers, we only need the data. So that's why we say data is response.data. All right. Let's remove this. Now we push the data here, we grab it here. Now this is where we grab the information. So over here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to add more information to grab. Okay. So we have latitude, longitude. We're going to copy and paste. And so we have latitude, longitude. Let's copy our image, title, sub, description. Great, great. Let's come back here. Image, title, description, paste, run, Two, three, four. Let's paste. Great. Now we have our image, we have our title, we have our subtitle, we have our description. Great. So this is what we're going to do right now. So now we have grabbed our data from this place. The next thing we're going to do is let's see if our data exists. So first let's log the image. So log image. So let's refresh our page. Great. It's saying none. All right. It's saying there's nothing to grab. All right. So what's wrong? So let's see what's wrong. Array markers dot push. We push our data. Blah. Push this. I. Blah blah blah. We have our image. So let's check this. We have our image title, subtitle, sub description. Great. So first, let's see what we have. Let's log each data. All right. So let's log each data. Log each data. See what's inside the each data. So each data when we log, we have all of our information. We have description. We have all of this, right? So we have all of our images and descriptions inside this each data. Now let's look at for each loop, we are grabbing the latitude, the longitude, that is the latitude and the longitude. We need to grab the image, to grab image, title, so each element. So let's log each data when it's inside each loop. So let's say log each data. Okay, so let's see what's inside each of the data one. Okay, so we are seeing the none. So when we look at this, we have the latitude, the longitude, we have the image. So let's close this. So we have let's refresh. Great. So we have the lat long sub image IM. So we have IMAGE. Okay. So we have this. So let's see what data we have right now. So let's change this each. Okay, so let's just say log sub. Just log our subtitle and let's see if we have our subtitle. It's saying none. Okay, so now let's see what's wrong. Now the latitude and the longitude are all numbers, right? So we're using pass float, pass float, pass float. But when we copy and paste, we don't need pass floats, okay? Because these are strings, so we don't need pass floats. So this is the, I think this might be the error. Let's clean it. Wait. Refresh it. Bam! So this is our data that we need. So let's just log next line. Let's see. Next line. Refresh. Yeah, it's repeating the same thing basically. So it just comes to the 55 subtitles. Now we have every information that we need. Now we're going to pass this information as parameters here. All right. So let's remove the each. The first parameter we're passing is image. The second parameter we're passing is title. The next one we're passing is subtitle and the description, right? So this, remember, info window is the simple window we created and we just copied some data, we just paste it here, right? So now we don't need this ID again. Okay, we don't need this ID. We have image and we have title, subtitle, we have description. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this image with our image. So if you are building any app and you have profile pictures, this is how you do it, or you have different images. In this tutorial, we just have one image. So, but if in real life situation, you might have multiple images and you have the image names in your database. So that is how you're going to do it. So you just have to remove this, the image name, and you replace it with the image from the database. So this is the image. Let's replace the title. So this is the card title. This is what we're going to replace. So $sign, two curly brackets. We say title. Let's copy this and let's paste to the cup subtitle. Let's say sub, and this is the description. Some quick example, blah blah. So paste, and we say description. Nice. So let's run our database. Let's refresh our page. And boom, this is the information that we have. All right. So this is the information that we have. This is from the database. This is from the database. This is from the database. Wow. So this is how you get information from the database. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this. We're going to cut this to, so let's say substring, right? We're going to use a substring. So JavaScript substring. So let's just say substring. So let's say like title. Let's just say title is TT. So you go to substring. So substring start from the 0. And we only want, let's say, 10 characters. All right. So we need to tell the data that we want. So we say title dot substring. So we replace the title with TT. This data. Let's refresh it. And boom, we only have 10. Okay, we only have 10. We only have 10. We only have 10. Great. Great. So don't worry, this is the same. It doesn't mean anything. We all our information in it is coming from the database. So let's just change the first title to this is a tutorial. Okay, so this is a tutorial. So let's just refresh our page. And let's see which one is going to say this tutorial. Okay, this is it. So this is a tutorial. So let's just change this to 20. Okay, 20 characters. All right, so let's come back. Let's click on it. So this is a tutorial. Great. This is coming from our database. So let's change this, the subtitle, to this is the subtitle. Let's clear this. Let's clear this. So let's just remain. This is the subtitle. Nice. So let's come and refresh our page. So this is the subtitle. This is what is showing here. So let's just try to clean it up. Now let's go forward. Let's go forward. Okay, applications. Okay, where's that? So this is a tutorial. This is a subtitle. Okay. So we refresh it, and this is a subtitle. This is our content. So let's just make that to content. So basically, everything that you have inside your database is what it's going to show for each. So each content. Let's go back. So let's just say each content. Okay. So we're also going to look at how to get user coordinates from any points, and then automatically insert it into the database, and then it shows on the map. So we look at this. So each content. So boom, boom. So this is how we do it. Okay. So let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. We have our 3D. Let's zoom into the 3D, and let's look at it like this. Nice. Looks nice. Let's click this. Looks nice. Okay. Looks nice. Wow. So our data is coming from the database. It looks powerful. In the next tutorial, we are going to look at how to get the directions. So we click on this. It connects this point to our center, or wherever we set our direction to. So we'll get direction with road and bicycle and transit and everything. So we're going to do it in the next tutorial.